Hi guys, thought I'd just do a quick garden tour just to show you what we've been doing. This is the secret Slap and Tickle garden. For those of you watch my videos regularly, you'll know about this garden. We bought a little birdhouse. Gets a lot of robins. My other half is turning that into some sort of planter of some sort. The pallet that our neighbour gave us, a couple of pallets. So yeah, loving it in here. So this area is going to be the herb garden. So I've bought a little greenhouse. I'm cultivating some herbs. You can see them in there. And again, we're going to hang some stuff on these pallets. Apparently you can get little hanging vases that you can hang on there. So we're going to get some galvanized hangers. But yeah. And then the flower bit with a Buddha and a tulip that seems to have appeared from nowhere, which is lovely. And then the foundations that we have laid for the summer house that arrives tomorrow. A little bit nervous about that, but this we think is pretty flat, so we're hoping that we can build it and it's not going to be too wonky. Right, yeah, that's the update on the garden. Let's go into the garage. So guys, oh no, am I backwards again? On my camera, that BP sign is backwards, so let me know if it's backwards again. I don't know what's happened if it is. Anyway, what I was going to talk about today, I was reading the motorcycle news today, and there was an article in there about a guy that had been a driver of a car that had been jailed for over 3 years for a road rage incident against a motorcyclist, and the motorcyclist was filtering. And the driver didn't like that and went on. I think he went onto the hard shoulder, caught up with the motorcyclist, and then knocked him off his bike and caused him life-changing injuries, which is absolutely horrendous. And I sometimes feel, I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes feel when I'm filtering, and I'm a driver, I've got a car, but I sometimes feel when I'm filtering on my motorbike, I feel some people are a bit pissed off with that I'm going to get to where I'm going quicker than they are. And I feel that quite a lot actually. And there was one incident when I had Ernie, my classic 350, and I was running him in. So you can't really go very fast on a classic 350 when you're running in. Well, I didn't anyway. And I was pottering along. I wasn't going below the speed limit, but I was doing the speed limit, and I think it was 30 or maybe even 20. And there was a black Audi driver, not a black Audi driver, but an Audi driver in a black Audi, was behind me, started flashing, hooting his horn, and he couldn't get past because the road was small. This was when I was in southeast London. But he managed to squeeze past me, and he got past me. I've told this story before, but it's just reminded me of it. He got past me, and then he slowed right down to 5 miles an hour, and then literally stopped. So I put my side stand out and down, stopped the bike and got off the bike and approached him. Oh, before that, I forgot to mention, he actually, when he overtook me, he threw a plastic water bottle out of his window at me. It didn't hit me, but he did that. And then he slowed right down to literally to a halt. So I stopped the bike and I got off it and I walked towards his car. I was raging, I've got to be honest with you. Talk about road rage. He'd really set, I mean, I was just thinking, I just hate bullies. That's what it is. I hate bullies. And he was really, I felt he was bullying Ernie, my classic 350, because Ernie couldn't go very fast, especially when he was being run in. So I walked over to his car and he wound his window down, looked at me, and I thought, right, we're going to have a chat about it. And then he sped off. Typical bully mentality. It really, really, yeah, really riled me. But anyway, when I read this article, it reminded me of that, and that is quite horrendous because the guy that was hit, I think I just said, he's got life-changing injuries, and yeah, it's just awful. I just wondered if anyone else had experienced road rage instances on a motorbike, because I definitely, especially when I used to commute back from London, I used to work in, still work in London, and I used to commute back to Bromley, kind of southeast London. In rush hour, you sort of filter in between the cars, and I remember a couple of people either shouting something at me or just looking at me like I was shit on their shoe just because I was getting past them. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's just me that I don't like. But when I read this article, I thought, wow, it's so sad though, isn't it? It really is. It upset me, guys. In my last video or a couple of videos ago, I asked for you lot to send me, email me if you were interested in me doing a Willy review. and the power of YouTube, I never think that I might get one or two. I have now got 58 bikes, and I haven't done one of them yet. It's a little bit stressful for me, actually. I'm thinking, wow, that's so many, because a lot of you have got four or five motorbikes, which is brilliant. I mean, it's great because I can do 5 videos in one day, really, and then just release them over the weeks. But I am going to start this weekend doing filming, and the first few that I'm going to do are bikes that actually, one of them is the Triumph 400X, the Scrambler. That bike is one of the bikes that I nearly bought, and I sat on one the other day. In fact, the guy Dave, who I'm reviewing the bike, who owns a bike, I sat on his bike the other day, and it fitted actually really well. So yeah, that's going to be one of the first bikes that I do. And then obviously I've got 50. Well, I won't be able to do them all. That's the point. I think I'll probably end up doing maybe 40. I can't really travel out of Suffolk or Norfolk, really, so it has to be localish to me. I don't mind traveling, but I can't go up to Scotland or somewhere like that. Someone said, and this is no diss against this guy, but it made me laugh because he said he lived in Cornwall, and I said, where do you live? And he said, in Cornwall, but the easy part or the local part or something like that. And I was thinking, well, there's no local or easy part to Cornwall. It's going to take me, what, 4 hours to get there. So however grateful I am, and I really am grateful for all of your emails. There are some that I can't do, but if I am going to be able to, I've emailed you already, so you'll know that I'm going to hopefully at some point over the next month or two come over to yours or meet you somewhere and do a Willy review on your bike. It would be really nice if you guys wanted to be on the video, because you can talk about the stuff that's good about it and bad about it, and yeah, you're the owner, so you know. So it would be quite interesting, I think, for people to hear what the actual owner thinks of the bike. But you don't have to. You can tell me if you don't want to appear on camera. So yeah, that's all good. Let me spin the camera around. So the Kawasaki looking as beautiful as ever. Teddy, the classic 500. So since I had that issue with him, and thank you to everyone that's commented about what they thought it might be. So just to give you a quick update on that, I have now done, I think, 50 miles on Teddy since that, and he hasn't spluttered once. Now, a few of you said about the fuel cap and it not being tightened up properly or something. I don't know how that makes a difference, but I take your word that it does. And mine wasn't. And that's my fault, I think, because I haven't filled it up with petrol for ages. But when I was, what was I taking? I was doing the dent, that's right. And someone said, or a few of you said, take the cap off before you start pulling a dent out, which I hadn't done, but I did. So I didn't put it on properly, so it wasn't on properly. So that's my mistake. And the second point is when I pulled away from the cemetery on my last video, the video before that, his petrol light came on. So I don't know whether or not I was at the very bottom of the petrol and it got some dirt in it. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But since then, touch wood, it hasn't happened again. So yeah, I'm loving Teddy. He really is. He's got so much character, this bike. He really has. And he makes the strangest noises. I'm still trying to work out what they are. But I think Tame said to me, it's fine and you get used to that. It's when you get a new noise that you start to worry. And that's very true. So yeah, loving both the bikes. Still on the lookout for a monkey bike. I need to test ride the DAX as well, but I've got so many things. I've got so many bikes to review in the Willy review bikes. I don't think I've got a chance to actually test ride it unless anyone's got a DAX. If anyone's got a DAX that's nearby, let me know and I can do a review on that and then buy it off you. All right, guys. Thanks again for all the comments and the emails, and I will catch you on a Willy review. Well, maybe I'll catch you before then, but yeah, Willy reviews are coming in the next week or so. Right safe, guys.